Imagine this, the billionaire's daughter, tears streaming down her face, stands at the altar in her lavish wedding gown, the entire world watching as the man she loves, the one who finally tamed her wild heart, whispers vows that could shatter everything. But wait, is that a gun in his pocket? Or is it something far more dangerous, a secret that could destroy them both? Hold on, because right now, as the priest asks if anyone objects, a shadow moves in the crowd, and everything we've built is about to explode. How did we get here? Buckle up, because this is the story of Elena Voss, the untouchable heiress no one could handle, until a simple waitress named Mia did the impossible. But that shadow, who is it, and why are they here to ruin it all? Cliffhanger 1, delivered in the first 30 seconds to hook viewers. To understand the chaos unfolding at that altar, we have to go back to the beginning, to a world where money buys everything except true connection. Elena Voss was born into an empire built on steel and ambition. Her father, Victor Voss, was a self-made billionaire, the kind of man who turned rusting factories into gleaming skyscrapers. By the time Elena was a teenager, the Voss name was synonymous with power. Private jets, red carpet galas, and a mansion in the hills that overlooked the city like a king surveying his domain. But Elena? She was the storm in the eye of that hurricane. Spoiled didn't even begin to cover it. From a young age, she'd learned that tantrums got her diamonds, and defiance got her daddy's undivided attention. By her 20s, Elena had a reputation that preceded her like a thunderclap, the billionaire's daughter who chewed through suitors like candy wrappers. No one could handle her. Literally. Her first boyfriend, a Wall Street hotshot named Chad, lasted 3 months before she publicly humiliated him at a charity ball, calling him out for faking his interest in art just to impress her father. Chad slunk away with his tail between his legs, and Elena laughed it off over champagne with her entourage of so-called friends, girls who hung on her every word because it meant access to the Voss lifestyle. Then there was Marcus, the tech entrepreneur who thought he could win her with gadgets and grand gestures. He proposed with a ring that cost more than most people's houses, but Elena? She threw it back in his face during a live stream, declaring him boring and predictable. The internet exploded, memes of her went viral, and Marcus vanished into obscurity, his startup crumbling under the scandal. Elena's challenges weren't just about her fiery temper. They ran deeper, rooted in a childhood scarred by absence. Victor Voss was a workaholic, building his empire while Elena's mother, a fragile socialite, drowned her loneliness in pills and parties. By the time Elena was 10, her mother had overdosed at one of those parties, leaving Elena with a father who loved her fiercely but expressed it through gifts and guards, not hugs or heart-to-hearts. Elena built walls around her heart, lashing out to test if anyone would stick around. But no one did. Suitors came and went, each one more intimidated by her wealth and wit than the last. Her father watched it all with a mix of pride and sorrow, hiring therapists who quit after one session, and bodyguards who whispered about her being unhinged. Elena felt it all, the loneliness masked as luxury, the ache of wanting someone real in a world of fakes. She was relatable in her isolation. Who hasn't felt like an outsider in their own life, pushing people away because getting close hurts too much? Enter Mia Reynolds, the unlikeliest hero in this saga. Mia was everything Elena wasn't, grounded, resilient, and utterly ordinary. At 25, she was a waitress at a cozy diner called the Blue Plate, tucked away in the less glamorous part of the city. Mia had grown up in a tiny apartment with her single mom, who worked double shifts as a nurse. Life for Mia was a grind, tips barely covered rent, and dreams of going back to school for graphic design felt like distant stars. But Mia had a warmth that lit up the dingy booths. She remembered regulars' orders, listened to their stories without judgment, and smiled through the exhaustion. Her challenge? Survival. After her mom passed from cancer 2 years prior, Mia was alone, battling grief that made every shift feel like wading through mud. Yet she was relatable too, a young woman hustling in a world that didn't care, finding joy in small moments like a customer's genuine thank you. Their worlds collided on a rainy Tuesday evening, the kind where the city streets shimmer like wet diamonds under neon lights. Elena, fresh from another disastrous date, this one with a European prince who bored her with tales of royalty, stormed into the blue plate seeking refuge from the downpour and her own frustration. Her designer coat dripped on the checkered floor, and she demanded a table, barking orders at the host like she owned the place. Mia, wiping down counters, glanced up and saw the storm cloud of a woman. "Table for one?" Mia asked with a polite smile, unfazed by the attitude. Elena scoffed, "Make it quick, and bring coffee, black, no sugar, and don't screw it up." What started as a clash became the spark. Mia served the coffee with a steady hand, but Elena, in her Elena way, found fault. "This is lukewarm. Do you even know how to do your job?" The diner fell quiet, regulars shifted uncomfortably. Most waitresses would have apologized and scurried off, but Mia? She met Elena's gaze evenly. "Ma'am, I brewed it fresh. If it's not hot enough, I'll get you a new one. But yelling won't make it warmer." Elena blinked, stunned. No one talked back to her. Not like this, calm, without fear or flattery. For the first time in years, Elena felt seen, not as the billionaire's daughter, but as a person. She sat there for hours, the rain pounding outside, and Mia checked in without hovering, sharing bits of conversation that felt real. By closing time, Elena left a massive tip and her number scribbled on a napkin. "Call me if you want to see what real coffee tastes like," she said, a challenge in her voice. That was the beginning of their unlikely dance. Mia hesitated at first. Why would a woman like Elena, with her world of excess, want anything to do with a waitress scraping by? But curiosity won, and they met for coffee the next day at a neutral spot, a small cafe where Elena tried, and failed, to play it cool. Their conversations flowed like the rain that had brought them together, deep, honest, laced with laughter. Elena opened up about her mother's death, the void it left, how she pushed people away because losing them hurt less than being abandoned. Mia shared her own losses, the grief of burying her mom, the fear of ending up alone. It was emotional gold. These were two women, poles apart in status, but bonded by the universal ache of heartbreak. Viewers, can you feel it? That pull when someone finally understands your pain without needing to fix it? But challenges loomed large. Elena's world wasn't kind to ordinary people. Her father, Victor, upon learning of Mia's existence, Elena had let it slip during a heated dinner, saw her as a distraction, a phase. Dating a waitress? Elena, you're a Voss. We don't slum it. Victor's empire demanded alliances through marriages, not romances with commoners. He cut Elena's credit cards temporarily, a petty move to test her resolve, forcing her to rely on Mia's small apartment for a weekend. It was a key challenge. Elena, accustomed to luxury, now faced the humility of ramen noodles and leaky faucets. She raged at first, slamming doors and questioning everything. "This is your life? How do you stand it?" Mia, ever patient, sat her down. "It's not about standing it. It's about living it. Wealth doesn't buy peace, Elena. I've got peace because I choose my battles." That night, curled up on a lumpy couch, Elena cried for the first time in years, not from anger, but from the raw vulnerability of feeling truly cared for. Resolution came slowly. Elena started small, cooking her first meal, burnt toast, but Mia ate it with a grin, learning the value of effort over entitlement. Their bond deepened, emotional layers peeling back like an onion, revealing hearts that beat in sync. Yet, the world outside wasn't as forgiving. Gossip rags caught wind, billionaire's daughter slumming with server. Paparazzi swarmed Mia's diner, turning her shifts into a circus. Customers leered, some supportive, others cruel, whispering about gold diggers. Mia's challenge hit hard, her privacy shattered, her job at risk as the owner worried about the drama. One night, After a particularly vicious online troll storm accusing Mia of using Elena for fame, she broke down in the alley behind the diner. "I can't do this, Elena. Your world is eating me alive. I'm just a waitress, I'm not built for spotlights and scandals." Elena, heartbroken, held her as sobs racked them both. This was relatable pain, the fear of not belonging, the terror that love might demand too much change. Elena faced her own demons too. Her temper flared in public, defending Mia aggressively, which only fueled the fire. A viral video of her yelling at a reporter led to Victor intervening, threatening to disown her if she didn't end this folly. Just as they seemed to find their footing, the first major cliffhanger hit. During a quiet dinner at Mia's, Elena's phone buzzed with an anonymous text, "I know your secret, waitress. Leave her, or everyone finds out what you're really after." Mia paled. Who could know about her hidden past, the scholarship money she'd quietly saved from her mom's life insurance, dreaming of art school but too proud to ask for help? Was it a jealous ex of Elena's? Or something from Victor's spies? The night ended in tense whispers, their embrace interrupted by the sound of footsteps outside the door. Who was watching them? Cliffhanger 2, building suspense midway through their growing relationship. They pushed through, resolution forging them stronger. Mia confided in Elena about her dreams, and Elena, in a gesture of true change, anonymously funded an art class for Mia without strings attached. "Not because you're mine," Elena said, eyes misty, "but because you deserve to chase what lights you up." Victor, seeing his daughter's genuine happiness for the first time, began to soften. A heartfelt confrontation in his office, Elena's voice cracking as she pleaded, "Dad, she's the first person who's handled me because she sees me, not the money," led to a tearful reconciliation. Victor shared his own regrets about Elena's mother, admitting he'd failed as a father by prioritizing business over bonds. "If she makes you whole, then she's family." The emotional depth here is palpable, a father-daughter duo healing old wounds, proving that vulnerability can mend even the deepest rifts. But love's path is never straight. As their relationship went public, more challenges arose. Elena's so-called friends turned venomous, spreading rumors that Mia was a con artist. One friend, Lila, a socialite with eyes on Victor's empire, orchestrated a setup, fake evidence of Mia stealing from Elena's purse at a party. The betrayal stung. Mia, accused in front of high society, felt the weight of class divide crush her spirit. "I knew this would happen," she whispered to Elena that night, packing a bag. "I'm not cut out for your world." Elena, devastated, chased her into the rain-slicked streets, much like their first meeting. "Don't you dare leave me because of them. You're the impossible I never knew I needed." They argued, tears mixing with rain, but Elena's raw honesty won. She exposed Lila's scheme with security footage, clearing Mia's name and cutting ties with her toxic circle. Resolution bloomed in forgiveness. Mia returned, and they vowed to build their own world, blending Elena's resources with Mia's heart. Months turned to a year, their love story becoming a quiet legend. Elena volunteered at the diner, learning the ropes and earning respect from Mia's co-workers. Mia thrived in her art classes, her first exhibit featuring paintings inspired by Elena, vibrant strokes capturing their shared storms. Emotional highs peaked during a surprise trip Elena planned, a weekend at a cabin by the sea, where they exchanged promise rings under the stars. "You've handled me," Elena said, voice breaking, "not by taming me, but by loving all of me, the mess, the fire, the fear." Mia, tears in her eyes, replied, "And you've shown me that impossible is just a word. Together, we're unstoppable." Relatable? Absolutely, who hasn't found strength in a partner's unwavering belief? Yet, shadows lingered. Victor's health scare, a mild heart attack from stress, forced Elena to step up in the family business, balancing boardrooms with her life with Mia. The pressure tested them, late nights led to arguments, Mia feeling sidelined as Elena's heiress duties pulled her away. Am I just a break from your real life? Mia asked one evening, voice laced with insecurity. Elena, exhausted but devoted, quit a major deal to prove her priorities. Resolution came in compromise. They hired a manager for the diner, turning it into a community hub, and Elena delegated more, carving space for their future. As their second anniversary approached, Elena planned the ultimate gesture, a proposal at the Blue Plate, where it all began. But fate twisted again. Just before the big night, another cliffhanger struck. Mia received a mysterious package at work, a photo of her and Elena from their first date, annotated with threats, "She's mine. End it, or lose everything." Was it Marcus, the jilted entrepreneur seeking revenge? Or Chad, nursing old wounds? Mia hid it from Elena at first, but during a rehearsal dinner with Victor's blessing, the package's sender called, voice distorted, "Walk away, or the wedding never happens." Panic set in. Who was this stalker willing to sabotage their happiness? Cliffhanger 3, heightening tension near the climax. The days blurred into a whirlwind of investigation. Elena, using her father's resources, hired private eyes, uncovering that the threats came from an unexpected source. Lila, the ex-friend, in cahoots with a disgruntled Voss employee jealous of Elena's distraction. The confrontation was electric, Elena facing Lila in a rain-soaked parking lot, much like her pivotal moment with Mia. "You think you can tear us down? We've built something real, something you could never touch." Lila confessed, broken and bitter, revealing her own loneliness masked as envy. Emotional depth shone through forgiveness. Elena didn't press charges, instead offering Lila therapy resources, turning enmity into a chance for healing. Hurt people, Elena said softly, echoing lessons from Mia. Resolution solidified their foundation, no more secrets, just unbreakable trust. Finally, we circle back to that altar, the hook that pulled you in. It's their wedding day, a blend of opulence and simplicity, the Voss mansion transformed with Mia's artistic touches. Colorful murals on the walls, diner-style booths for guests. The world watches via live stream, but the real magic is in the vows. Elena, in her gown, holds Mia's hands, voice trembling, "You did the impossible, you handled my chaos with grace, turned my storms into sunsets. I promise to cherish you, every day." Mia, radiant in a dress she designed herself, replies, "And I promise to stand by you, through boardrooms and breakdowns, because love isn't about handling someone. It's about growing together. But remember that shadow in the crowd?" As the priest pronounces them wed, a figure steps forward. It's Victor, not with a gun or secret, but with tears and a gift, full ownership of the Blue Plate for Mia, a symbol of acceptance. No danger, just family. The gun was a metaphor in Elena's anxious mind, born of past fears, but Mia's love dispelled it. They kiss amid cheers, the impossible made real. In the end, their story whispers an inspiring message. No one is unhandleable, it's about finding the person who sees your depths and dives in anyway. Love bridges worlds, heals wounds, and turns impossible into I do. Whether you're a billionaire's daughter or a waitress with dreams, remember, true connection starts with vulnerability, and it can change everything. If this story touched your heart, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more tales of love conquering all. Thanks for watching. And subscribe my channel.